Our big story tonight, Maricopa County Assessor Paul Petersen accused of human smuggling in an adoption fraud scheme. Good evening, I'm Madison LaBerge.
And I'm Daria Yasmin. Thank you for joining us. Petersen faces 62 charges across Arizona, Utah, and Arkansas, 32 of which originate in Arizona. Authorities say Petersen ran an adoption law practice in Mesa for years, bringing women from the Marshall Islands to the U.S. to give birth.
Ellie Nakamoto-White is standing by with what supposedly would happen once the women were here. Ellie?
Petersen's arrest has been sending shockwaves across Arizona. The respected lawyer and public servant was taken into custody last night, while officials today broke down the details of the case against him.
An indictment has been filed against you. It is charging you with one count of conspiracy, a Class 2 felony, one count of fraudulent schemes, that's booked as a Class 2 felony.
Maricopa County Assessor Paul Petersen was arrested last night after officials allege Petersen has been involved in an international adoption fraud scheme since at least 2015. Petersen has been indicted along with Linwood Jeanette, a woman authorities say was his helper. They have been charged with 32 felony counts in Arizona, Utah, and Arkansas.
What we've alleged and what we've discovered is that this adoption fraud schemes involves pregnant women from the Marshall Islands being flown to the state of Arizona to have their babies put up for adoption.
According to the indictment, Petersen, who was an adoption lawyer licensed in Arizona, flew dozens of women from the Marshall Islands to Utah and Arizona to give birth. Investigators say they believe the women participated in the fraud scheme, some of them unaware of the extent of the crime they were involved in. Petersen allegedly housed them and promised them $1,000 a month while they were pregnant in the U.S. Court documents also show Petersen falsely claimed the women were Arizona residents so they could receive Medicaid health coverage. Authorities are now charging Petersen with over $800,000 worth of fraud. Officials say that number is expected to rise.
It is alleged that Mr. Petersen would charge about $35,000 for you to adopt a child from his agency.
Our focus is on the individuals, these two specific individuals who have allegedly abused the system and ripped off Arizona taxpayers.
Authorities say the alleged scheme violates the Compact of Free Association International Agreement between the U.S. and the Republic of the Marshall Islands. While Marshall Island citizens are allowed to travel to the U.S. without a visa, it does ban travel for adoption purposes. Today wanted to be very clear in saying that they are not going after the families involved and will not interfere with adoptions that have already taken place. Petersen is currently being held on a $500,000 bond. His next court appearance is set for October 15th. Live in the studio, Ellie Nakamoto-White, Cronkite News.